Yo, what's up, guys? Let's go ahead and go over today's price action. Specifically the trade that I took today. So my only trade today was on metals. So look at these equal highs up here. I'm thinking that's the draw liquidity for today. When you look at what happened yesterday, we sweep out this low. I guess it's this lower here. But on the daily, this is kind of the closure that we get, which makes this nice framework. So it's simply IRL key level on the daily with SMT, right, and a PSP. So you have a two-stage SMT on the daily time frame. So I want to look inside of this wick to actually validate if this is a C2 or not, because you don't just trade every single type of C2. We want to see a reverse signature within it that will validate this being a C2 closure, right? So let's go ahead and look inside of it. And as you can see, we displace away from it, which is good. So we just have this V-shaped signature, create this gap. So now this is going to be our refined key level. Hold on. I don't know why this always disappears, but okay. Let me make this the daily. Make this the 1 hour. All right. So yeah. So this is our refined key level, right? So what I did on my fundeds and personal account. So my fundeds I traded 1 micro, like this. So I put a limit on the gap, and I put my stop loss at EQ of the wick, because that's mainly our invalidation level, right? Basically, we know this gap needs to hold, so yeah, my stop loss around EQ, it was like 2.5 R basically, so wherever that is at. So see how it's below EQ here is absolutely fine. We're covering the whole gap, and even below it, allowing maybe some absorption of the gap, maybe filling in the whole gap, whatever. I'm allowing that to happen. So that's simply what I did, right? Because I don't really need a smaller stop loss. If I can get 2.5 R to this high, that's really all I need. Especially on funded accounts, there's really no need to go for high R necessarily, especially when I have a buffer. So this is what I did. I just entered here. Now if you're day trading it, you want an SMT fill here. You want your, lower time frame swing points. You get our lower time frame swing points and all that, but you don't get any type of SMTs in the gap. So unfortunately, there would be like no entry there. But we get this reversed expansion candle away from it. So as soon as we start to expand away from it on the lower time frame, that's when I can move my stop loss to break even. I can start to trail it, right? So I didn't trail it as soon as we got this CSD necessarily, because at this point we have no SMT. So I'm thinking that maybe there's a possibility we could come back and create SMT or something. When we really started to expand over like propulsion blocks, so when we got this, that's when I trailed it to this low, right? So I'm mitigating my risk basically. And once you started to really expand away, I was like, okay, there's really no point in returning. That's when I can go break even on this trade. And I was thinking I think this is really going to play out, right? We have a gap here that's going to be created in the future. I'm thinking that this gap can hold and go higher. Um, so yeah, I mean, it didn't happen though. It did not happen, unfortunately, and we just came lower. So now this happens is really ass. This just means like we're probably going to consolidate. Probably there's really two scenarios that can happen. Ideally, an SMT with this low, and then we go higher. Like that's the most ideal scenario. If this gap is not going to hold, but that doesn't even happen. So um, all assets end up taking this low out, unfortunately. And the next thing to do is, I guess, have SMT here, right? Which is what happened. So we had SMT here, which is a two-stage SMT, technically. Right, so see it's SMT with the candle that creates the SMT fill, and it's SMT with the same candle, right? So it's swing point SMT. Key level SMT is your first stage, swing SMT is your second stage, which is valid, right? But the profile just does not really support this ideally, right? We kind of open high first, although it's not into anything relevant. We can't really expect price to get all the way up here just because of the profile. So when we are looking for trades on live session, I wanted to TP here at like this little gap or like the previous candle's high. But this is a nice sequence still. I think it's still nice, man, because you get a structured PSP here. like the asset that's manipulating is actually manipulating the low. It's actually wicking it. This is a good thing to see. So I still think it's absolutely great. This is a great framework. I mean, look at the V shape that we get as well. So look inside of the C2 candle, guys. What do you want to see? Like a V shape action going on here. Look at that, but mainly on gold, it's really clean. Look on gold. Look at that V shape on the 15-minute and above. It's like looking really good. But you have some gaps in price. So you have a gap here, which it would be this low. So we got the SMT fill here, right? And I was looking for the 5-minute CST because this is the down move that created the SMT. Just never got it, unfortunately. There's also another reason why I wanted to wait ideally for the 5-minute. It's because of the 90-minute candle. You have a very large wick, so mechanically, if I draw off this wick, right, you want to stop loss down here. This is way in premium. That's the problem here. So if I wait another 5-minute candle to CST here, for one, I will have a gap, probably, right? And I will be 5 minutes closer to the close of this candle. So that means I will take this trade. If we CST here, I will take this trade at 10:25. So there'd be only 5 minutes left in the candle, which we can start to anticipate that we don't need to return here. Unfortunately, we don't get the CST or the gap or anything like that. I mean, we get the gap, but no CST. And it just ends up flushing lower. So now when we return here, it's pretty much like not ideal because what happens was end up happening is the SMT breaks here, which you don't, that's like the first red flag, honestly. When SMT breaks with the SMT fills, like you want there to be SMT fill ideally, but the sequence is so high probable, which I still allowed it because you still technically have this CT here, even though I would want the SMT to happen between gold and silver because that's where the strongest PCB is happening with. So I'd ideally want that to happen. That's where the SMT is happening as well. You know, the consecutive candle SMT like this. So I ideally want this to happen between those assets, but I would still allow it just because the sequence is so good, but it ends up breaking again. So meaning that we never got our 5-minute CST here, and these assets ended up breaking it. So if I play price later on, it breaks it right here, unfortunately. Oh wait, what am I talking about? Oh yeah, these broke it. Sorry. So yeah, that's just unfortunate, right? I was looking more for silver because it had the cleanest draw, and had this draw liquidity. So check this out here. Is the one I'm talking about, like this one. You probably get 2R there. Where gold is right here. It's like the next draw is like there's no other draw. We're not like between the current high day and low day, like in between here. I mean, there's really no draw to be honest. Straight like I don't really care about this little high right here. Kind of hard to say, right? So really, all you have is this asset here. Like this is the relevant high, like in between the current high day and low day, right? And I was gonna take this on my personal account and hold it until here. So I didn't really care about the small ass CSD or nothing like that. I want a 5-minute CSD, especially because when you look over here as well, man. So when we created this SMT fill, like it was actually still holding technically. This SMT fill. Now on these assets, there's technically no gap. So it's like there's technically no SMT fill, like actually technically on silver, but gold had a gap. So like I'm still using it. It's kind of a weird situation, but like either way, like you have like your SMT fill, right? And it's really between like this low, I think. Yeah, it's between that low. We start to expand away. We fail to have a CSD, right? But then we return and re-sweep the low while holding this SMT. That is not, we already know that. That's not something that's high probable, right? We shouldn't be re-sweeping CSDs, or sorry, SMT. So like, even if we got like another CSD, this one I'm not really care about this CSD. Let's see the CSD right here. I don't give a shit about it because we're in consolidation. So I was saying on live, like I want either a displacement through here. Well, I should go over here, sorry. I want like a clear CSD here to consider it. Or like ideally a gap, bro. A gap is always ideal in price, but we just never got it. So it just completely failed. The whole idea just failed. But yeah, like I would still consider a long. Um, even like for example, like even though there's no SMT at all up in here, like this is still like very high probable sequence. Like this is a deep enough retracement where like if you started to really expand away, it could still do it even without SMT. But since these assets had some form of SMT, I really want to focus on them. But yeah, it just didn't really happen. But I still want to show you guys this because like it's still like really nice framework. Right, this is why I was focused on mainly metals for today on New York AM session because of the framework, right? SMT and a gap. This is why I decided to take really my first real trade of the week was because of this framework. It's very nice. It just didn't play out, unfortunately, and that's gonna happen, right? You can have A plus framework, it just doesn't have, it just doesn't play out, or you don't get an entry maybe, or no confirmation to entry, whatever the case may be. It is what it is, right? That's part of the game. But this is really good. I want you guys to focus on stuff like this because it's very nice. Anyways, let's go on indices now. So indices, I was also mainly bullish, but I don't really have the best bias because it's absolute shit. We're literally in consolidation right now. You guys see this? Look at ES right now. Look at all these lows down here, the equal highs. Like we're basically in consolidation, so like you can't really take anything. Like I don't know, it's just not high probable. Like obviously, right? So you're just trading internal stuff. So like we have this internal SMT here, which is the low of day. Let's show you. So you see how Asia's low of day. When I go over here on YM, Asia got taken out. This is the yesterday's SMT, and then we had this, and then we have equal highs. So like you can't short it because YM has equal highs, and like to long it, this is the best thing you have. It's like this is a relevant low within this range here. So this is a range. You have this is a relevant low, kind of like delay protraction, right? And you have this SMT. Um, so like that's the only thing I would see, but again, it's still low probability because it's just in consolidation because of the framework, right? It's like a pattern trade of two-stage SMT in shit conditions, basically. Like I don't know how to explain it, but that's all it is, bro. It's nothing insane, but if you were to take a trade like this, take it on eval, take it on your funded account, but de-risk if you were gonna do it. I would probably not take it on a funded account to be honest. Maybe for a trading day for a fund account, yeah, you know, like very low risk. I'm talking like 150 bucks or less, and going for 1 hour. If you're trading $150 risk, go for 1 hour because that's all you need for a trading day. Um, or $75 risk and 2 hour, you know, whatever. But I usually just go 1 hour to be honest for 150 bucks. So that's what this would be basically. You get a decent V shape low key, like honestly. And if this is gonna be if this is gonna get to this draw, guys, if this was gonna get to draw, this is where it would happen. This low and this CSD. It's like this is like your one shot for the shit day that we have. This is your one shot. So like, I would say it's valid, right? But risk accordingly. Don't be surprised if this fails because it's not a high probability sequence, right? Of course. So if you go on 3 minute, looking pretty decent, honestly. Like a nice V shape, 930 as well. It makes the bad PA a little bit better because you have 930. So you have a confluence there. So like it's definitely valid, but definitely risk recording, like I said. So what you need to do here to get 2R is either take a limit order like this, put your stop loss down here at 2R, or if you entered here, which is really pushing it, yeah, I actually wouldn't enter there to be honest. You have to take a limit. It's like this, right? So you have to do like this with your low risk or whatever. You can't move your stop loss here, guys. I also wouldn't enter here. Why? Because it does not go 50%. As you guys can see, very shallow retracement. So don't enter there, and also don't move your stop. Very shallow retracement. Don't do it. This is more of the move you want, right? And it just ends up like bullshitting. But I would also move my stop here, by the way. Move your stop there, because there's absolutely no way in hell. First off, this is a very deep retracement. You do not want price to come here. It's just not gonna happen, bro. Price is not gonna come here, sweep you out without taking this low out, and then go in direction. It's not happening. It's just not happening. This is not happening in general. It should not happen. So this is the swing point that should catapult price higher. We should never revisit this low or your original stop loss to begin with. So move your stop there, trim it a little bit, and yeah, it just ends up bullshitting. So yeah, this day just ends up doing nothing. But that's like the framework that was there, I guess. Yeah, it's not high probable, but that's kind of like your one shot for today. And like what price is doing, it's doing really nothing, honestly. Just reversing from the equal highs again. Just indices being pretty bad. So I only have one trade on indices a week. It's for a trading day. It would be the same thing, except if I need a trading day, I would take this, like I said, and I don't even think I would get. I don't think I would get my trading day. It would just be like a loss, like a $150 loss. For example, it would be like this, a 2R, um, and my 1R would be right here. So I wouldn't even get this, bro. I'll take a trailed stop loss for like maybe $110 or like whatever it is. So that would be that. But that's indices for today. Nothing going on, dude. But that's the framework that I had in mind. If I was gonna make up some shit, or force anything, like that's what I would go with. But gold was really nice. Like my trade in Asia was really nice. The framework was really nice. Even this is like pretty good as well, especially because the strength is PSP. Like I was telling people that I wanted to see a new like another SMT because like although we have the high rates for SMT like this, the two stage and all that, I still ideally like. Oh, this is yeah, this is two stage SMT. Ideally, I want to confirm the low of day, that new, low of day with a line swing, like hourly, 30-minute, 4 hour, with a second stage SMT. It doesn't have to be a strength switch or nothing like that. It just has to be like a PSP or something, or even like a 15-minute, um, like strength switch PSP or something. But we didn't get that. We didn't get the 1 hour, the 30-minute, but we got the 4 hour, so it was still valid. Uh, it looked great. It looked great, except the profile. But again, when the profile's bad, you just scalp. Um, you can just take it to here because it's probably not going to get up here today. But I was thinking that I could take this trade on my live account, hold it throughout the night or the next day into high, but we never got it. So it is what it is. Nothing much going on this week, man. Really slow week, actually, honestly. But yeah, that's pretty much my day. I'm gonna wrap it up there. Jeez. So yeah, catch you guys later.